Look at that line. It goes all the way around. And then it double lanes back there.
It has been 3 hours and 11 minutes, and we can finally see the tech tent. We made it to the tech tent. Made it through tech. Walking to the Freedom Factory.
Definitely needed it because the first pass was probably the best one because it actually made it all the way down the track under power. The second pass shut out like right before the 8th. I didn't get any usable ETs or times or anything, so and I didn't data log, so I had no idea what it was doing. I'd at least tomorrow, if I can get it to go down without breaking up, cutting out, get a data log and see what's going on, then I'll be happy with that.
trailer now, and we're gonna head to Orlando. He did an 11.64 on his pass, so we're happy with that. And we're heading to Orlando.
Well, finished up the first day of the track trip. Did pretty good. We're on our cruise. Trying to
number 1. There's the ocean. Little rain protection. Headed to checkpoint number 2.
So I can actually log the passes and see, what I need to work on or what cruise pressure it's actually making and all that. And the oil pressure and everything. But I'm assuming everything's okay because it hasn't messed up yet. But just set up like an auto start for like 60% TPS. So the only issues I've noticed is the rear brakes. Sounds like the drums are hanging up a little bit or something. It's just making a lot of noise. And the engine has been ticking potentially from the very beginning, and I've just now noticed it. So we'll see if that gets any worse. Right now it's kind of staying consistent. So. Honestly, just a little bored hanging out here. Nobody to talk to. So, just hanging out here by the pilot. By the way, if you've not been to a Pilot gas station, it's the best gas station. It's like a mini parts, not a parts store, but like they got all sorts of stuff. They got JB Well, they've got actual good oils, Rotella, like T4, T5, and then they've got like not just zip ties and stuff like that, but like hose clamps, all sorts of stuff. You can actually fix it when you have a problem. I've not seen that. Of course, I've never really stopped with truck stuff, so it might be normal. I thought it was cool. Anyways, that's pretty much it.
Got to Gainesville Raceway.
Got some good parking this morning. Not the first ones here, but we're pretty early. There's a couple guys already here. I gotta check out the track. The rear brakes were like making the noise, so I pulled the tire off. There was some dust and dirt in there, so I cleaned off. And what I noticed was, see that right there? That material has been shaving down the whole way. So what it is this brake shoe has come off of its little holder. So put her back in place, and that's where it was scraping there. So that should fix our issue. So that's good to find. 400 miles like that. So yeah, not good.
Through the air.
Yeah, he did get out of it. So for those of you that are wondering, you're looking in the left-hand lane, you're going, what is it? What is it? Adam, do you know what it is?
It's a Triumph.
Yeah, 1964. He wins the award if we had one. I don't think, maybe we'll see if Tom Bailey can make one up. Has more engine out of the hood than in the hood.
And
it's crazy.
I talked to him in the pits at registration, and the thing's got like a Nissan truck rear end with 6 lug wheels and stuff. And it's like a, pretty obligatory 5.3 with a turbo kind of deal, and the thing is cool. And again, everything you're watching is like 300 miles on it right now when we make them drive down the road.
Yeah, Stephen Wing's the guy in the Challenger on the right-hand side. That Triumph just pulling away from him. That's Timothy Blythe. And what's he going to run? 11:18 at 108 miles an hour? Are you kidding me?
And that's probably on the binders, 108 miles an hour.
Yeah. Man, and the Charger the Challenger going 1241 at 112. and that Spitfire was just like, it was yards out there in front of him.
Well, and that's one of, like we were talking before, it's like you could take that Challenger down and trade it in at the local Triumph dealer.
So we just finished up our pass, turned in our time slip, got our directions. Now we're headed to, or about to leave from the track and go to our first checkpoint, and then go to South Georgia.
Just arrived at the Super 8 Super Great.
Made it. A little smoky, but we made it. Made a fork out of the box that the noodles came with. I think that's the way to go.
I think so too.
Gosh, that's bright. We made it to South Georgia. We are like 7 minutes early to the track before it opens. It's pretty cold. Forgot to put my plastic window on, so a little windy. But we're here. I do believe the plan for today is we're going to attempt to fix the turbo that's leaking oil and smoking. And I think we'll just take a nice easy pass down the track, save the turbo and everything until we can get back to Bradenton, because it's a 300-mile drive down 75, and definitely don't want to be, using oil going down 75 for 300 miles. So I think the best call is save it until Bradenton, where I can risk it for the biscuit. Blah blah blah. We're at Bradenton. The trailer's there. All we have to do is make a pass, and then we can turn our time slip, and then we've completed the week. And then after that, I can mess around with the tune-up and some more boost and see what it'll really do. And then I'll be able to use fourth gear, because I'm not worried about having to drive, 300 miles or whatever to the next track. So can definitely play it a little bit more risky over there and not have to worry about being stranded. But that's the plan for today.
Alright, we're running last today, but it's fine because we had some stuff to do, or Tim did.
Yeah, it's a good thing we got a late start because we had to swap out a turbo. It didn't take too long. We had enough parts to get it done. It took maybe about an hour and a half or so, but everything looks good now, so we should be good to get back into lanes whenever they call us and make our pass, and then head down south to Don Garland's to our first and only checkpoint, or it will be the last checkpoint, I believe, and then after that we go to Bradenton. About 300-mile drive, 5.5, 6.5 hours, somewhere around there, depending on how things go for us.
made it to the first and only checkpoint for today.
It's smoking real bad. Check the oil. We already put a quart in it. I think we'll just put some more oil in it, take it to the hotel, and then see about swapping the seals out there at the hotel.
124 miles to Bradenton. We just got to our hotel in Bradenton. We made it. Just got shamed by a cop.
We got an encounter with an officer who wasn't so pleased with our smokestack. I understand where he's coming from, but he was a little mean about it. Told me it was illegal, completely illegal. It was a major violation. And I informed him, I'm just trying to make to my hotel. It's right there, man. And I will fix it. And he said, please do. So we left. So at this point, we've made it, what, like 900 miles almost. So last day, I guess, last drive, we had to deal with the leaking turbo seal. So yesterday we had a turbo delivered. It's just a used one. Made it one pass just like the other one did. So we drove like 297 miles with the turbo smoking like crazy. Got oil all down the car. It was real fun. So I got to clean up all that mess. And we got a little rebuild kit. We're just going to replace the seals and the O-rings. And then hopefully all we need is it to clear up enough to get to the track and then make one pass. If it's smoking after that, doesn't matter. It'll go back into the regular trailer after all this, and then I can do the necessary upgrades to a traditional 66 millimeter or something like that. So we'll have problems with oil pressure pushing the seals out. But we go ahead and take this thing apart and see if I can get all these seals swapped out. So I thought like the turbo, the bearings were ruined because it's so hard to turn, it doesn't spin freely, but look at all that sludge. Ew. Ew. You can't even see that. Look at that. It's like a river of oil, cooked oil, sludge, block. Gross.
Starting off the last day, rebuilding the turbo.
It's really nasty. A bunch of cooked, sticky oil residue. It's hard to get off. Found how to brake clean. I guess I could use some gasoline to put on a rag and kind of break that oil down and get it cleaned up. But should be good. We got a little rebuild kit. I think it has everything we need.
Timothy can't just work on the car here. There's always people around him. It's so funny. He's been out there for like 2 hours now.
Was helping a little bit, but obviously that's going down. So they were likely going to have to see if they could get with no timing or anything. So yeah. No, so it needs to be a 150 or a 200.
Timothy Blythe coming up. That's a 1964 Triumph Spitfire. If there was an award for more engine out of the car than in the car, this guy would win it. 1092, 122, 1498 at 100 for the El Camino Law. That Spitfire, that thing is just absolutely insane. I mean, it's got little rusty front wheels on it. He just yanks off the trans brake.
Yeah, it scares me. Not gonna lie.
We finished the week. We are loading up. Go to our hotel and then we'll head home tomorrow.
So it's Saturday morning. We're on our way back home. Gotta leave Florida. Had a blast. Came here thinking, you know, I have no idea if this car's even gonna make it past the first day. We made it day 5. We made it past every single track. We actually didn't do bad in the standings for the bracket race, even though we weren't even really trying to be consistent. We were just trying to make passes every day. I had attempted to put in like a really hot tune-up to try and see if I could get anywhere close to a 9. Unfortunately, we sat in lanes for 2 hours. Let's see, Aiden got in a wreck, and then Tesla got stuck in the left lane, and there's just enough to where we were the last ones right there at the line. We started pulling up, and then they said, no, shut it down. And then they do a hard cut, and I thought it was, you know, that's it to the staging lanes, and then we'll run the lanes out. But a hard cut is whoever's in line, doesn't matter, they're shutting it down. A soft cut is, alright, we're shutting lanes down, now everybody run them out, and then we're done. So I was a little upset for a little while, but I'm over it now. So a couple cool things that happened. The first race in that car was actually against Freiberger, and we actually beat him. They were shooting an episode of Roadkill, so my car might actually be in there. I'm not sure if it will or not, but I also got him to sign my dash, so anybody that's like important that the car beats, I'm gonna see if I can get him to sign the dash or some part of the car. So that was really cool. Met a lot of cool people there. I'm gonna try and keep in contact with as many of them as I can, and try and do some more racing. Just whatever it is, if it's with the Triumph or if it's with the 240, just trying to get out, do as much racing as we can this year, and just trying to have some fun with it. But we'll be back in about 7.5 hours, and then it's back to our normal lives. So sad to leave Florida, but we'll probably be back pretty soon.